ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe for more things.
Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the X-Men Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Wave Sabretooth. If you're trying to pre-order the set, you can do so at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Man, this is another figure I've really been looking forward to. Cannot wait to open this Sabretooth. Anyway, on the side, you can see a nice image of Sabretooth. On the back, you can see a beautiful looking product shot right over there. There's the read-up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. There's the other figures from the wave. Then we get that nice image of Sabretooth again on this side as well. And then we get the X logo at the top and not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here is Sabretooth out of the packaging, and this is not a bad looking figure at all. I am pretty impressed with some things about this piece. I gotta say, I really do like it. There are things that do bother me about it though, and I will get into those very shortly, but I don't know. I feel like I'm on the fence over here because that face sculpt over there, it looks very impressive. So let's get a closer look. So this head sculpt, it has somehow managed to be my favorite thing about this figure and my least favorite thing about this figure all at the same time. I really love the sculpt that I'm seeing right here. I think the mouth looks great. I think the facial hair looks really good. His eyes are a little far apart from each other, or a little bit more than I think they really need to be, but I really like the paint that they've added here. I love the red around the eyes. I think the mouth looks fantastic. For the most part, I'm really impressed with the hair and this whole fluffy collar thing right here. Just to give this a quick face comparison to the Series 5 Sabretooth, where he has the same kind of suit on. You can see the similarities over here. I actually like this newer head sculpt a little bit more than this older one over here. I really like the bright blonde hair, and we get some nice color variation in that. That looks great. The downside with this is the seamage right there with the lower jaw. You can't see it as well on the right side, so it did line up pretty well over here, but on the left side, a little bit more of a gap than I'd like to see. X-Manny87, he showed me a picture of his, and check out his Instagram, link below, and he had a much bigger gap right there, so that's very frustrating, and I thought for a second maybe there'd be jaw articulation, but no jaw articulation. But the thing that really does bother me with this head sculpt more than anything else is that it does sit a bit high on the neck, and there is a way for them to do this where they could Dremel in a little further into the head sculpt to get this to sit a little bit lower, and that's one thing I always really liked about this design for Sabretooth is how he has all this fur over here and his head is kind of like buried in here, and he has this, huge, massive, wide build. So I don't know, it just made him look a little bit more threatening that way, and having the head raised kind of just takes that away. Plus I feel like the head is a little on the big side. But I really like this collar. This looks great. I love how the fur came out with this. Nice gray paint. I love the color variation in it. I'm very impressed by this. I like it a lot. Of course, they've used the Hyperion body mold for almost all of the figures, so you could see that, you can just port that in right there. So that's pretty easy to do. If you could port it in, you gotta line it up because the plastic is kind of soft. So if you don't line it up perfectly, alright, there we go. So yeah, got that placed right in there. As far as the brown over the yellow, it mostly looks clean. You can see a little extra dot right there, but mostly the paint apps look pretty solid. Can't complain too much. I like it. No real color variation or anything on the rest of the figure. You can see we get this new forearm piece here, so that looks pretty good. The hands and claws look really nice. I like how the nails look. Nice wrinkles in the hands, so that's pretty awesome. I'm digging that. Again, Hyperion body mold. So we've seen this plenty of times before, and you can see the stripes right here look very cool. I like that. Nice clean deco. And how did that side come out? Pretty good. Yeah, just some copyright stuff. So pretty good clean paint apps on this. Sabretooth butt and a copyright, or I guess assembly line number or whatever. And then here, just looking at the feet, these calves seem to be lined up okay. And he has a little spikies right there on the toes, and he has peg holes at the bottom of his feet. See, looking at this figure from farther away, you get what I'm talking about. Like if the head sat just a little bit lower on the neck, or maybe if the head was a little bit smaller and it sat a little bit lower. But anyway, as far as articulation goes, he can look up all the way, which is great for the jumping poses, and you can see he'll look down that much. One thing I need to mention is that I do see this brown paint fading severely right here. Didn't notice that earlier, so yeah, watch out for that. You do get side-to-side motion, and then you can, I guess, pivot just a little bit, because because it sits so high on that peg. You get shoulder joints that move outward, they move down, rotate 360 right there, kind of bumps into this. You get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and the wrist turns side to side, hinge up and down. You get an ab crunch forward, ab crunch back. The paint doesn't go all the way through right there, but almost. You get a waist swivel, hips move outward that much, he kicks forward that much, back that much, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, calf rotation, ankles move up, ankles move down, and he does have the ankle pivot. Now measuring out this Sabretooth figure, you can see that he's standing just a little over 7 inches tall. And then comparing this Sabretooth figure next to some other Sabretooth figures donning this suit, we have the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Series 5 Sabretooth, and then we have the Marvel Select Sabretooth. Aesthetics wise, this is my favorite looking one. I like this one the most. That whole thing with the hunch and everything, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I really like to see. So would have liked to seen the head just sit a little bit lower with this one. The other thing is that he does feel pretty short, you know, so I don't know, these two seem closer to the same height, so I would have liked a little bit of a taller Sabretooth figure, but still it looks good. I like the head sculpt a lot. And then for your Sabretooth comparison, these are the only two Hasbro Sabretooth figures that we have. I can't remember which Build-A-Figure wave this is from, but I call this my X-Men Sabretooth. I feel like this is the good guy Sabretooth. And you could see, you know, with the different forearms and stuff, the arms look a lot longer. I think this is actually proportioned out a lot better than this one right over here. And I guess because I've failed to do all the head swaps all the time, I gotta make sure to do all the head swaps, whether it makes sense to me or not. So here we go. It looks actually pretty good. This is actually not looking too bad. The way the head sits on this figure is kind of what I had in mind. It sits a little bit lower like that. And you can see that, you know, before this figure was standing taller than this one, so it's obviously because of the head sculpts, right? So yeah, I might end up trying to Dremel into that head sculpt to make it sit lower. And then here's Sabretooth next to the only other figures from this wave that I've already reviewed. We have Multiple Man and Wolverine, and I did not show the head swap with the Vintage Collection head, so here's the Vintage Collection head Wolverine, and yeah, I didn't expect those yellows to match so well. That actually looks pretty good. I just didn't see that coming, but you can see how this looks on the brown and tan, and I like how the head sits on this body more. It just sits a little bit lower, right? So I do think that looks pretty good. I don't know. I like how the fins on the sides, you know, stick out more on this piece right here, but I like how this sits lower on the neck. People have asked about trying to heat this up and spread these out. I have not tried it yet. I did try it on the 12-inch version, and it didn't work, so that's why I haven't tried it on this one. And then here's the Sabretooth figure next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Ooh, I want to pet the furry kitty. What a nice furry kitty. I gotta thank you guys once again for watching my video, especially those of you that watch these videos all the way from the very beginning all the way to the very end, and I especially appreciate it when you guys hit that like button when you like the video, and please leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of the video and let me know what you think of the figure. If you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure you do so, as well as hitting that notification bell. I really like this figure a lot. This thing looks incredible, and my nitpicks and my complaints, I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if I was alone on those things, but I do think that I should go ahead and try to Dremel into that head sculpt. So yeah, check out the next review from this wave to see how that turns out, because I'm definitely gonna go for it. Even with that complaint aside and the other things that bother me about it, I'm still giving this a SUD rating of
It's not too bad.
and it does get a little bit of a lower score than the other figures. I don't know, there's just less going on with this than I feel like with the Multiple Man or the Wolverine. Well, the Multiple Man I'm actually pretty biased because I've just really been wanting that for a very, very, very long time, but I still really like this figure a lot. And again, I want to know what you guys think, so please go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you'd like to see a photo gallery of images, you'll be able to see all of it over at marvelousnews.com and ShartimusPrime.net. And don't forget to follow me on the social media on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face,